All right, so now I'm going to teach you how to use Excel to do simple analysis for 1 correlation and 2 t-tests. So I start by showing you the questionnaire that is used. So you will see that there is a Su-Hie communication style. So this was the study done by Humaira and I. So you need to look at the questionnaire so that you can see where all the data come from when I show you the Excel sheet later. So you can see here, section 1 is demographic. Okay, demographic, move, okay. So you can see we ask for different kinds of information that might be related to our study of Su-Hie and Gen-Z communication style. So here, section 2, we move into characteristics of Gen-Z people. I have here a number of items. Half of them came from the literature. The other half came from our observations because some were not studied yet. All right. And you see the responses are strongly disagree to strongly agree, 5-point Likert scale. Next section is on communication style. This is based on a theoretical framework, and I will not use this data today with you because it's a little bit complex and I have to explain so many things to you. So what I want to show you, the other part is this, the section 4, which is the Gen-Y characteristics. All these are from the literature because Gen-Y are older, they have been studied. And you see here, the colors are yellow and white. There is a question 31 here that needs to be reversed. Okay, because the yellow one describes what we know about Gen-Y people. They can find information, they can analyze information, they can handle a lot of work at one time. But what we know is they always submit the work late. But we wanted to put something positive, so we worded a positive statement here, but when you get the results, you have to reverse it. So I will show you how to reverse it. And you also like to get instant feedback. So this one has only 5 items. Okay, so that is the questionnaire. Now I will share, stop share of this, and I will share with you the Excel sheet. All right, you see the Excel sheet, the original data looks like this. This is from 312 respondents. So when you use the Google form, it will come in like this, okay? The questions will go on and on the right-hand side. So it keeps going on until the end of it. So I have coded it, meaning I have turned all of them into numbers. You see the top here, gender, 1 for female, 2 for male. So you use the simple function of find and replace. So you find, you click this column B and you go to, not this one, alternate E, find. So you find you find female and you replace with 1. You can replace all because you are replacing it within the column B. And then you do the same for the male. You find male, replace with 2. Okay, you should always start with the longer word, male, and replace with 1. Because if you do male first, you are going to end up with FE1. You know, it's going to mess up your replacement. Okay, so I do the same for all the rest. Even the strongly agree and disagree statements also need to be replaced because when the people take the option, it is strongly agree or disagree. It doesn't come in numbers. So all these are from the first effort to code them. Now, first thing I want to show you is how do you reverse it? What you see here, Can you please mute so that your voice does not disturb my talking? Okay, this is the last section, Gen Y characteristics, 5 items. Just now, the yellow color was shown for 4 items. And there was one question that I told you need to reverse code. So you can see here, column AK is the one that needs to reverse code because Gen Y are known to be late in submitting work. They are not punctual, but the statement is worded positively. Because if we word the statement negatively, they will show disagree. They will not tell the truth. Okay, so now this is what we do. You highlight the numbers and you see the instruction I have put there for myself beforehand. Okay, this is bigger, you can see. You remind yourself how to replace because you cannot keep it in your head. You are going to confuse yourself. Write it down. I want to replace 1 with 5. I better do it like that first. You know why I cannot directly change to 5? Then I'm going to have the original 5 and the new 5. So you better don't do these things. You do it slowly. Replace all the 1 with 5. So I'm going to click replace all. So actually only 2 persons chose strongly disagree. Yeah, 1 is strongly disagree. Now I'm going to replace 2. Okay. What do I mean move away? It's okay here, no problem. Let's do this again. Did it replace all? Yeah, just now already replaced. Now replace 2, 2 change to 4. Replace all. So there were actually 18 who chose disagree. Now we will leave the 3 because 3 is in the middle out of a scale of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 in the middle, there is no change. Now we change 4 to 2. Replace all. Yeah, a lot of people agreed. So everything here has been changed except the last one, 5. So I think we can safely straight away change 5 to 1. No need to use the words as an intermediate. So we replace all. So they actually 104. The numbers I will teach you how to count later. Now we need to change the word 2 back to the numeral 2. Replace all. So you do it systematically, there will be no mistake. If you are not going to do it and you thought you do it sekali, you are going to have problem because you will have the original number plus the new numbers. Replace all. All right. So this one has been reverse coded. You look down to check that there are no more of the oh yeah, the 5. Okay, I need to change the 5. Oh yeah, okay, I need to change the 5. There are only 2 5s just now, so change 5 to the number 5. Okay, so this column is okay now, reverse coded. Now I want to teach you how to do a mean score. This is the mean score for Gen Y characteristics. Because we have 5 questions, if you add up the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will give you an overall score. So how do you do average? You go to formula, more functions, statistical, average. That's when it makes you go crazy because it takes from so many places. But we are only going to take from the last 5. AH, okay, it takes from AH until AL2. That is the first line. But actually, yeah, correct. We take it row by row because we are averaging for the 5 items. So if we click enter, it should give 4.2. Now you use your logic and you look at it. 5, 5, 5, 1, 5. Yeah, correct. You know about 5.2, 4.2 can. All right. Normally Excel doesn't make mistake, but when you key in or your fingers accidentally touch the cell, it can change the number. Now, after this, it's very easy. You want to look at the formula, is actually here. Equals average bracket AH2 to AL2. That means column AH to AL. So after this, it's very easy. You just put your cursor at the bottom right-hand corner and pull down until the last participant 312. So you get an average. This is the mean score. Okay, this is the mean score for Gen Y. Now we will do Gen Z characteristics. This one here. I have highlighted in yellow. We wanted to study more of the Gen Z because there are very little literature out there about Gen Z. So we wanted our paper to be a bit different from others who have written so much about Gen Y. And also many people who wrote about Gen Y, and a few people who wrote about Gen Z, they just give a lot of opinions and observations. They never did a study. So we wanted to study Gen Z and put the paper out there. Now what I'm doing is I will insert one column here so that I can put the mean score for the Gen Z. Okay, what you do is you put your cursor here and you right click. Then you choose insert. So it will insert one column there. All right. Everything needs to be labeled. You do not rely on your memory in case you forgot because so many things are there. Okay. Now we go again to formula, more functions, statistical, and average. Now you are better already. Let's go and find. This is the start. That's why I use colors and I use the heading here in blue color so that I know this is the start of the Gen Z items. So it is K. So I know I should put K2 here. And I suppose the T is correct. Let's go and check. Yes, the T is the last item 16 on the Gen Z. So I key in, enter. So the average is 4.5. Just now the average was 4.2. Okay. So this is just one participant, participant 1. So I just want to talk about the meaning of the numbers. Out of 5, Gen Z characteristic is 4.5. The Gen Y characteristic for this particular person is 4.2. So this person shows more Gen Z characteristics than Gen Y. Okay. Let me digress a bit. You look at an age, this person is 39 years old. Actually, it's a Gen Y age. So, but you cannot understand something by looking at only one participant. That's why we want to get group data. Now, I also want to show you how you can reduce the number of decimal places. Normally, you don't need so many. So you go to home, you go to this arrow here. It will reduce the decimal place. I think for our purpose, 2 decimal places are enough. 1 is a bit too little. Okay, now you pull down from the right-hand corner down to the last row. Okay, so you get the mean score for Gen Z characteristics. So you see, I have now 2 columns of data. Mean score for Gen Z and mean score for Gen Y. We are now ready to do correlation. Correlation means you put 2 variables together and see whether how they change with each other. Positive correlation means both increase or both drop. Negative correlation means one go up, another come down. Let's see. I didn't do this in my paper, but let's try now. Remember the column is U, U for Gen Z. And this Gen Y column is AN, remember. So now I'm going to put the correlation results here. Correlation between Gen Z is column U and then Y is column A, N. So this is to tell myself. You cannot try to remember because you're going to run a number of tests. Now you put the box there because this is where the Excel is going to put the results. Go to formula, go to more functions, go to statistical, and look for correlation. You see, correlation, C-O-R-R-E-L. It also has Pearson. We can try Pearson. Okay, array 1. Just now is, you can go and highlight, but I show you how I can type in also. Just now I told you is U. So it's U2 until U312. That is the last participant. And then the second array is AN2 until AN312. Okay. Can you see that the result has come out inside the box already? Inside my function argument box is 0.179. I just click OK, and the result will appear here. So just now I type in. Now let's see, you don't type in, it's okay. Now we just try the normal correlation that is not called Pearson. You can go and select, you click this box here, and not click the box. You just move your cursor to the U just now, the U, okay. Then you click from row number 2 all the way down until the last one, which is row 312. Yes, 312, because we have 311 participants. Then the second set of data, you need to come here. Just now is AN. Okay, you click. Whether go from top to bottom or bottom to top, doesn't matter. Okay. All right, 0.179. They are the same. Okay, you want to see the formula? You put the cursor here at the top, below all the menu buttons here. You can see the formula. When you get used to it, sometimes we just type in. If not, you can do using the selecting. So when you interpret the result, 0.18 is basically too low. Okay, so there is no correlation between these two. Okay, you already know it's between ZZ characteristics and ZY characteristics. No correlation. No correlation here probably is good because these two are not connected. They are probably studying different things. And it also means that the characteristics for ZY and ZZ are not opposite or similar, because if we are studying the same thing, they are sure going to correlate positively. If we are studying opposite things, they are sure going to correlate negatively, even though they may not end up very high correlation. When you see no correlation, it's okay. It just shows that if a person exhibits ZY characteristic, it doesn't mean they also exhibit ZZ or vice versa. Okay. Normally, any correlation that is between 0.1 to 0.4, we will consider too low. 0.4 to 0.4 to 0.6 will be moderate, but there are actually proper people, statisticians, who will give you a guide on this. I just give you a rough guide to explain to you, but you should actually cite from people who do statistics, and they tell you their interpretation criteria. So what I have put here is just for the purpose of explaining to you. Okay, you see your results in exams as a passing mark. If you are sitting in the middle, 50 plus minus 10, it will give you 0.4 to 0.6, you know. So you see if something is in the middle, we say there is moderate correlation, moderately strong. Anything above, you know, like 0.7, 70 marks is going towards minus already. So you see it like that. Okay, this is a rough guide. Please do not use this criteria. You go and look up the proper criteria to tell you whether the strength of correlation is low or high. Okay, so you've learned how to do correlation. Now we do t-test. Correlation is for two variables that happen together. They occur in real life. You didn't do anything to them, but you thought maybe there is certain connection between them, so you study them. T-test is different. It is differences between two groups. And very often in science, when they do experiments, they compare the experimental group and the control group. And therefore, there is grounds to compare differences because they did something to them. Okay, in the arts, we sometimes also do experimental study. But even if we don't do experimental study, we can use t-test to compare male and female because it already exists as two different groups. Okay, you see here, column B is for gender, 1 female and 2 male. And column C is for age, and I put a comment there. It is already sorted. Previously, it didn't come in like this, but I already sorted before this. So the older ones will be on top there. They are the Zhang Y, row 2 to row 69, based on certain researchers' classification we have used. Then Z will be row 70 to row 312. You have to make these remarks somewhere so that you can refer to it. Now I will show you how you sort according to gender. So you pay attention. We select all the rows going down, including the first row with all the details. No, should we? Yes, we should. Because if we, let me see, maybe we do not need. No, if you do not, then the Excel does not know that column B is for what or column C is for what. So we select until here, 312 rows. Now you pay attention to where I find the sort. Okay, I should not do this because at the side I already put the correlation results. So it's going to mess the arrangement. So we will select the data properly. We will select AN, okay? The last row all the way here, we will select it properly, don't be lazy. Okay, now you go to home, you go to sort and filter. You see here, sort and filter, it has the icon of A to Z. So you choose custom sort. Custom sort, you say sort by sort by gender. That's why just now I told you, you must include the first row with all the descriptors. If not, you do not know. So sort by gender. After this, all the rows are going to be rearranged. I think it's going to put all the ones first, the female first, and all the two or male later. So, okay, done. We are going to do this. Okay. Everything else has been messed up already. Okay, messed up already. Let's go up and look at it. So you see here, now all the ones appear. All the ones appear. Column B, yeah, your eyes look at column B. So all the one, that is the female, one, go down. Oh, so many female participants. Now we start have number 2. Number 2 starts from row 223. Okay, start from row 223 all the way down until we finish at row 312. So for my own purpose, I will put it here. Female will be, now I know, is row 2 to whatever, I also forgot already. Okay, go and check again. Row here, 2 to 2. Okay, the female finished at 2 to 2. Okay, row 2 to 2 to 2, and the male starts from row 2 to 3 to 3, 1, 2. Okay. All right. So sorted already. This is so that we can do t-test. And it's good to remember this. So I copy this. Now I bring it over to this place where I put all my t-test and the correlation test result. Now I'm going to do t-test for gender difference in Zhang Z and Zhang Y characteristics. That means I'm only going to use the mean score. Okay, as a remark, I put here so that I remember the rows. Now, you need to select according to female, according to male. So let's go to the formula again. More functions, statistical, go and choose t-test. T-test, okay? All right, array 1. All right, you go and find you have to do one by the Zen Z first, the U just now. Let's go and find the column U. Okay, remember the female is until row 222. So go down until row 222. Okay, row 222. This is the female for the Zen Z characteristics. Now the next one is the Zen Y characteristics. You go from U 223. This 223, yes. All the way down until the end, which is row 312. Okay, this is the second set of data. We just want to find, is there a difference or no difference? So we choose two-tail. And the type, we are not sure whether our sampling is that good or not. So I will always put two sample unequal variance. I will choose variance, the code number 3. So okay, the result is 0.34. This is actually the p-value. P-value. So for significance, p-value must be less than 0.05. Here is more than 0.05, so therefore not significant. What it means is the participants are not significantly different in Zen Z characteristics. When we say the participants, we need to add in a bit the female and male participants are not significantly different in Zen Z characteristics. So this one is for only Zen Z. You know, t-test can only compare two things at one time. Now we are going to do the Zen Y characteristics. So we put the cursor here and we repeat. So let's go to formula, more functions, test statistical, and then t-test. T-test, okay, t-test. Okay, Zen Y is the AN. So I can type in AN2 until AN222 for the female, and then AN223 to AN312, and then two-tail and unequal variance. Okay, 0.38. So the same reasoning goes. You see the value, it is very big. So they are also not significantly different in Zen Y characteristics. That means there is no gender difference. If you are Zen Y, whether you are male or female, you show the same characteristics of your generational cohort. If you are Gen Z, whether you are male or female, you show the same characteristics of your generational cohort, no gender difference. All right. So this is how you do the t-test, and previously how you do the correlational test. You can compare also in terms of ethnic group, but if you're using t-test, you can probably only do Malay versus non-Malay, because most of the participants here are Malays. You cannot do Chinese and non-Chinese because the number of Chinese is rather small here. If you do the non-Chinese, then you know, it's got a very big set here. So there is certain limitations if you only do t-test. If you do ANOVA, you can compare 3, 4, or 5 groups, provided your sample size is big. Okay. The other thing I haven't taught you is how to calculate the frequency, because at the very basic level, when you report statistics, you must report frequency. If you don't know how to use mean score, at least you can report how many strongly disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. So what do you do? Okay, this is when I need to teach you the count if function. You see here on my screen something in blue. It can do a total for you. It's called the sum. Okay, the sum, you just go here, you go to more functions, statistical. Actually, the sum you can do from outside here, but I never did it inside here. So okay, the sum, you don't need to go to more functions. You go to, yeah, I can see it here, formula. You see this sigma sign, auto sum, say it will also auto sum everything above it, but you must always check B2, the first row to B312, so it will do sum. And then the mean, you choose formula, more function, statistical, you can get the average. B2 to 312, you see, you have to check because it sometimes mess things up. It will just detect everything above it, so it will also take this row 313, which is not the data. Standard deviation, you also need to calculate because you are, well, you might want to show how much variation around the average, you know, this is what standard deviation is. And normally for people who report the results, you will put mean and you will put standard deviation. But if you are not so sophisticated, you put mean is already enough because it tells you where you are in that whole range. So let's say you do standard deviation. Formula, more functions, statistical, standard deviation, the word is ST, def, S. I think you put P, that is the population, actually will give you about the same result. So we put the sample. Standard deviation just now, let's see, I want to count for the column C, which is the age. So I know it's C2 until C312. Then the standard deviation is 3.45. And what is the average age? Let's go for the age. Okay. What do you call C2 to C312. So the average age is 22.7 years old. And the variation around it plus minus 3.45. Well, Humaira used her context. She is young, so her friends and the students are mostly young. So the average age is very low. Even though you see some about 36, 37 years old, but very few in comparison to a lot who are students. So it pulls down the average to 22.7. Not much variation. Now, let me teach you the count if. Count if, okay. Formula, more functions, statistical, count if. S. So, let's say you are not so clever, you don't know how to type in. I want to count here, this one. Oh, okay, how many Malay and Chinese? Okay, let's count. Wait, first go back, count one first, one. do okay. Count if Malay. I want to move over to this side here because otherwise I'm confused. So just check. It will actually highlight there. You see the blue box there. So you can go up and check whether it's capturing the correct data. Do not be careless. I have made mistakes like that. Okay, do not be careless. Always check. So count if. So there are 145 Malays. Now we count number 2. This one you cannot pull down. Okay, you want to pull down, you are going to create problem. You can pull down, but you must go and correct it. Check. You see, when you pull down, it doesn't start with row 2 anymore. And it doesn't stop at row 312. It actually move it one row down. So you can pull down to copy things, but I would do like this better. I would copy the first one and I copy and put into all of them because at least the row 2 to row 312 are the same. I only change the number at the back. Now I want to count if number 2, count if number 3, count if number 4, count if number 5, count if number 6, and count if 7. Actually, there should so many. Let me see. Oh yeah. You see, ethnic group, I have used the code 1 for Malay, 2 for Chinese, 3 for Indian, 4 for Dayak, 5 for Katasan Dusun from Sabah, 6 for Orang Ulu from Sarawak, and also some parts of Sabah living around Miri and Limbang, and 7 for Eurasian. So yeah, it did reach 7. So count if until 7. Let me tell you, there are out of 312 respondents, there are 145 Malay, 60 Chinese. Okay, you cannot remember. I tell you another thing you should do. You click the first row and you freeze it. You go to view and you freeze the top row. Okay, so now when you go down, you know what I'm talking about because I commit this to memory. Is my system. 1 for Malay, 145, 60 Chinese, 32 Indian, 53 Dayak, 12 Katasan Dusun, 6 Orang Ulu, and 3 Eurasian. Now you take this number, you go and put it into your paper. This is under your participant characteristics. Just now the age also participant characteristics, the gender also. The gender you can see here, there are 221 female and 90 male. So you make your table inside your chapter 3 if you are doing your thesis. Then you put in all these participant characteristics. I also have education level. I also have work. I also have income and the parents' income because the students do not have their own income yet. I also have data on their MUET English and the SPM English because this is related to communication skills. Okay, so you have learned 2 statistical tests, which is correlation and t-test. You have also learned how to collect data here in the form of frequency down here using the count if function. Count if function, you can drag across. Anything you drag across will not be wrong. It will just it will just count if all the ones that you see, it will count if all the 2. But when you drag down, that's when you need to correct it because there is a problem. It actually moves the row 1 row down. All right, so I have taught you enough for you to do good analysis, but you must understand why you are doing statistical tests, and it relates back to your objectives of the study. So you must look at your objectives and look at your questionnaire to see that they fit, and then your results will follow. So whatever is not right, you fit until they align. All right, all the best.